de Vampyr, la partie 3. Voilà, ça part de là. Allez, c'est parti.
My research is complete. I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Donc. Rejoindre la porte. Je vais les enlever les commentaires. Un bébé. Que de toute façon, si les mecs ils viennent pas. Allez, me revoilà. Et bonjour à tous à nouveau. Faut que je sorte. Ok, bonjour ma petite dame.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
D'accord, d'accord. Là, je l'avais tout fouillé. Je me rappelle plus, mais je crois qu'ils remettent des items. Je crois qu'ils remettent des items. Ah, ok. De toute façon, j'avais tout fait. les où? On va sortir. Y'a rien là? Y'a rien. L2, R2, je me rappelle plus. Je me rappelle plus les sorts que j'ai en fait. Faut que je regarde, hein. Excusez-moi. Dans les ans et devenir invisible. Ok. Pensez sur votre cible. Ouais, donc ça c'est une attaque, ok. C'est la vie, putain. Tellement de sorts maintenant. Il n'y a rien à fouiller. Qu'est-ce? Donc, on va essayer de trouver l'entrée de la morgue. Ah mais elle est là. Elle est là, elle est là. Elle c'est ici. Ouais. Ah ben voilà. C'est ici. Donc, on va utiliser la petite clé. Ah. Tintintin. C'est pas l'homme qui prend la mer. C'est la mer qui prend l'homme. Car elle prend pas la femme qui préfère la campagne. Ah ma fille, un petit bébé. Et morgue, ok. Bon c'est stable. Je veux dire que normalement voilà. Pas que j'ai peur, hein, mais pas très rassurant tout ça. Là c'est fermé.
It's locked, all right.
Oh. Ah. Du pognon. Donc qu'est-ce qu'il y a là-dedans? Fiole de verre. Ça c'est tout des items à recycler je pense. À mon avis ça coûte pas grand chose à la revente, hein. Ok, lui il a deux portes. Là de toute façon. Allez, on va à l'étage. Voilà. Attendez 2 secondes, je vais juste régler la lumière de la cam là. Un petit souci. Beaucoup de luminosité là. Ouais, j'ai... J'ai le soleil qui commence à taper derrière. Voilà, on va faire comme ça devrait être bon. Faire des cas, je réglerai tout à l'heure. Donc lui, je vais me l'assommer, non? Ah non, ou pas.
Behavior is similar to the infected William
Oh,
Bishop.
lui, je lui ai mis
Must
sa
be the
race,
same
quoi.
strain. This sickness moves fast. This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Lui, il a rien compris. Échantillon de sang. Ok. En fait, l'armoire, elle fait... On a l'impression qu'elle est pleine et tu récupères un échantillon de sang, quoi. Ah, il y a du peuple là. Il y a du peuple. Bon, donc le sous-sol de la morgue, eh ben, c'est dans le sous-sol. Hein. Du pognon. En tout cas, le jeu pour le moment, je le trouve vraiment bien fait. Vraiment bien fait. Ah.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Ouais, si ça sert à rien, pourquoi tu le prends? Ah. Ok. Ok. Oh. Ah non, je croyais. Je croyais qu'il y avait des pièces qui brillaient en fait. On va visiter tous les étages, hein, comme on voulait pas. D'accord. Quel intérêt de mettre des miroirs si élevés en fait? Que je me trouve grand déjà et... Vous voyez même pas ma tête dedans. Oh. Oh. Ah ouais. C'est top. Top ce système de disparaître. J'ai l'impression qu'il y en a un qui est comme moi en fait. Ah, il me fait sortir de la morgue direct, merci. Ah ouais, je suis sorti de... Sorti de la morne, mais remarque, il faut que... Mais où es-tu? Par ici, je ne peux pas. Et je ne peux pas, je ne sais pas. Et je reste planté là. Mais c'est à l'arrière, c'est à l'arrière. Je peux pas passer là. Derrière, droite et gauche. Pourtant. À gauche. C'est dans la bâtisse alors. Ok. Il y a un truc là-bas. Je peux pas passer. Quarantaine grippe. Ok. Alors, je pense qu'il faut que je re-rentre. À l'intérieur. Là, je peux pas. La cour. Pourquoi il me fait repartir là-bas? Je trouve plus l'entrée. C'était un monde ça. Hein. C'était un monde. Sa mère l'hypopète. C'est là. Pour intérieur. Mais non. C'est un truc de dingue. Allez, on se balade, c'est pas grave. Les paysages sont magnifiques. Ouais, elle est là la morgue. Salut à toi. Et bienvenue sur le live de Vampyr. Un jeu assez sympathique. Il parle d'un jeu d'horreur. Pour le moment, on voit pas trop le côté horrifique, un petit peu, mais bon. Comparé au Resident Evil ou autre, ou The Last of Us. Mais ça va viendre. Quand ça manque de lumière. Alexa, mets la lumière à 50%. Ah voilà, c'est mieux. Donc, où devons-nous aller? Dans le sous-sol. Dans le sous-sol, est-ce que je peux ouvrir? Ah ben voilà. La porte déverrouillée. J'ai récupéré la clé pour ouvrir, mais elle est déjà déverrouillée la porte. Oh. Oh.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Ok. Ça c'est fait. Ah ouais, l'autre il est parti, il m'a pas vu, j'ai mis le sort d'invisibilité que j'ai débloqué hier. Qui est sympathique. Bon, il reste 28 secondes, il est assez lent. Assez lent pour se recharger quand même, je trouve. Ça mord. On l'exécute. On l'exécute vite. Là-bas, il y en a un. Il a peur, il vient pas, hein, il vient pas. Ah. Vers où allons-nous aller? Il y a une porte, mais j'aime bien affronter les ennemis face à face. Après, je peux lui faire à l'envers, hein, lui, hein, regardez. Ah, j'aurais dû le mordre, j'aurais dû le mordre. J'aurais dû le mordre pour récupérer mon sang. Donc, je mortadelle. Oh. Mais qui es-tu? Rapport du décès. Samuel Connor. 39 ans. Adresse inconnue, pêcheur. Pneumonie foudroyante. Voilà. Virus, grippe espagnole. C'est bien parce que le jeu, on est en plein dans le virus, quoi.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look. The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then, he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
D'accord.
It's locked, all right.
À verrouiller. Couteau d'amputation usé. Tu vois? Couteau d'amputation usé. Lui, il me fait quoi? 58 dégâts en niveau 2. Ouais. C'est trop lourd ça. Trop lourd, trop lourd. Lui, il prend que 15 d'endurance. Usé. Ah, j'aime bien le côté assommé là. Permet de pouvoir bien le mordre en fait après. Ouais. On va rester comme ça. On reste à l'ancienne. Le pieu, la machette. J'ai même mis l'arme, mais l'arme elle me sert à rien. On n'est pas dans Call of là, on est dans un jeu vampirique. Un truc par terre là. Hop, allez. Truc là, non. Non. L'autre. Allez. On ouvre. Et qu'y a-t-il là? J'entends des bruits suspects. Oh! Allez, ça mord. Allez. J'ai du premier coup, mais à la fin, il me restait pas grand-chose de vie quand même. Voilà. Liquide. En fait, on croit qu'ils sont nombreux, mais c'est lui qui se démultiplie, quoi. lui qui se démultiplie. Donc, analyser. Machette de niveau 2. Ah, je vais passer au niveau 3, j'aime bien. Niveau 3, ouais. Oh. On va l'améliorer là aussi. Voilà. Alors en fait c'est ça ou ça. Là l'endurance c'est 15. Ah ouais mais bon. Faut... Alors, on va laisser comme ça, hein. 64 de dégâts, ça peut le faire, allez. Allez, allez. Et le pieu, je peux l'améliorer aussi? Ah oui. Là, il me fait quoi là? Impact. Ajoute 3 points d'impact lorsque l'arme touche. Ok, en assommé, je monte à 18. Donc, et là, maniabilité, endurance. Assommé, c'est bien aussi. On reste comme ça, on reste comme ça. Allez, là, on recycle. Voilà. Et tu as cigarette, bonne valeur, on va revendre, on va pas le recycler lui, ça sert à rien. Il n'y a pas un lit pour save là? Un transat? Non. J'étais venu là? Ah ouais, j'étais venu là. Toutes les portes mènent à Rome. Donc. Là, y a rien. Oh! Ah ouais. Oh. Et je l'ai pas vu venir, c'est vrai que j'ai pas de soins. J'ai pas de soins. Sérum. Objet, j'ai pas de soins. Je peux pas en fabriquer. Je sais pas trop comment on les fabrique les sérums en fait. Bon, c'est pas grave. On verra ça par la suite. Il faut que j'aille où là? Faut que je ressorte. Quête principale. Ah, c'est là où j'étais tout à l'heure. Hein. Ah.
It's locked.
Ah non, lui il est encore verrouillé. Hein. Lui il est encore verrouillé. Que faut-il que je fasse? Ronde de nuit. D'accord, fabriquer un traitement pour la fabrique. Et lui, un traitement pour la fatigue. Ah ouais, mais d'accord, d'accord, d'accord. Fouille en même temps. Ah, un truc à ramasser, ouais. C'est bon ça. Oh non! Oh putain. Ah ouais, j'ai plus de vie. J'aurais dû fabriquer. Putain, j'avais pas lu. J'ai pas lu la quête principale. C'est qu'il fallait encore tuer des bonhommes. Mais bon. C'est pas grave. Ce que je vais faire, attendez-moi là, je vais augmenter la lumière dans les paramètres de la cam. Voilà. Voilà qui est un peu mieux. Donc. Ok, il m'a fait revenir là. Allez, mange, mange. Ah ouais, c'est pour ça que les assommer c'est très important. Ça te permet de bien manger pour remonter ton endu, ton sang. Pour avoir tes attaques spéciales. Allez, on récupère tout ce qu'il y a à prendre. Hop. Il y a des trucs à prendre en face. Peut-être qu'ils m'ont remis des items vu que je suis mort. Non, là, ça va me faire sortir. Ce n'est pas l'intérêt. Rien qui brille. Là, ça sert à rien d'y aller. Ah, là, non. Non. Je vais aller à l'étage, à nouveau. Allez.
to the infected
Voilà.
William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Le but, c'est de prendre le maximum.
It's locked.
Rien à récupérer là. Ah. Non. Il y aura eu un truc brouillé. Mais non, c'est dans mes rêves. Allez. On le finit à la machette. Voilà.
I cannot enter.
Non, mais je veux pas ouvrir la porte. Il a rien récupéré sur lui?
It's locked.
Oh. It's lock. C'est locké. Bon, allez. On grimpe, on grimpe, on grimpe. Non. Toujours pas passé en haut. Vous voyez, c'est un jeu où il faut beaucoup tourner parce que pas mal d'items à récupérer. Et en même temps, il y a d'autres ennemis qui réapparaissent, donc c'est bien de les tuer, ça monte un peu l'XP. Je redescendrai après, je vais refaire un tour là. Allez, on le redescend. On va retuer en bas. Allez, on mord, on attaque, machette, personne. Voilà. Ah lui, je lui ai mis cher dès le début. Hein. Dès le début. Voilà. Plus d'assommage. Et on le finit là. Non? Ouais. Voilà. Il n'a rien compris à la vie.
It's locked.
Verrouillé. Ah ouais, j'ai pas récupéré la clé. T'as vu ce que je vous ai dit? Les ennemis reviennent en fait. Hop hop. Ça permet de récupérer des objets. Tranquille. Voilà. Ce qui est un peu l'intérêt. Donc, traitement pour l'anémie. Donc il faut que je fasse quoi? Il faut que je fasse quoi comme traitement là? Fabriquer un traitement pour la fatigue. D'accord, ok. Voilà, ça c'est fait. On va fabriquer plusieurs. Ah, j'ai pas vu. Porter le médicament de Roticrane dans la chambre du patient. Ok. Par contre, j'ai encore... c'est quoi ça? Porter... Aider à gérer l'épidémie. D'accord. Mais où devons-nous aller? On va récupérer ça au passage. Ah, oh, tiens. Tu fais des coups, tu fais des coups. Voilà, regarde. Regarde, t'es presque mort. J'ai eu l'attaque spéciale. Allez. On va aller. On va essayer. Oh, oh. Non, mais... Allez, je descends. Attaque spéciale. En mort. Voilà. Ils sont tellement prévoyants. Bon, je suis en normal. Hein. Allez. Il n'y a pas de sortie là. Putain. Je reviens au même endroit, j'ai fait le tour. Pour me rendre compte. Moi et le GPS. Hein. Je parte pas à droite, mais là c'est bloqué. Là, on peut pas sortir. Là, on remonte. On sort par l'étage alors. Je ne sais plus. Ah ouais, c'est dans les sous-sols là. Ah, je vous jure, eh oui, voilà. Allez, Zou, on sort. Bon, ben, petit combat sympathique. Les méchants qui aiment mieux se tenir. Ah, ma fille. Ça va ma fille? Ça va mon bébé? Ouais. Bon, c'est vrai que le temps de téléchargement par contre est long je trouve. Mais bon, ça va. C'est pas non plus la mort. Allez, on va grimper là. TV pour chercher les citoyens. C'est bien ça.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Donc, un petit bilan de santé, en bonne santé.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Indice, d'accord.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is
Ah,
winning.
mais je l'ai faite hier, la
And no
plupart
matter
aussi.
how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve,
Faite
Nurse
hier,
Hawkins.
c'est pas d'autres questions.
In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Ah, je l'ai fait.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Il n'y a rien d'autre pour elle. Inconnu.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated
Oh.
dabblers.
On déconne, il me traite d'amateur.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Toi, je vais te bouffer, s'il te plaît.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
Enfoiré.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Franchement.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Inconnu. Je vais faire les trois.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare...
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, You should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Okay. Voilà.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Qualité du sang. Il faut que je les soigne pour mieux les manger.
As for me,
Excellent. Parlez Edgar Swansea. Où est Edgar? Il est sur ma gauche.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Ah, il faut que je le soigne. Ah, il faut que...
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Do you need any help?
Thank you, Dr. Reed, but you've done enough already. The rest is up to me now.
Il en est où là? Récupération. Votre vie à Londres, est-ce que j'avais fini? Là, c'est bon, ouais, ok.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
En bonne santé. Je peux pas la charmer. Hein.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Claire.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Donc... Putain.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Allez. 10 requis, là.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs.
J'ai
Goswick?
pas fait.
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Les Anglais ils avaient vraiment des drôles de tenues vestimentaires à l'époque.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Allez, ciao. Ciao, ciao.
Good evening.
Regarde pour voir.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Ah, un inconnu là-bas. Ah mais non, il est de l'autre côté.
So tired.
Il est dans l'autre aile.
Will this shift never end?
Il n'y a pas que le sang des citoyens. Ah oui, non mais je sais.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellie.
As for me...
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
En bonne santé, je peux pas te charmer, non. Moi je vais manger du docteur, là, franchement.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Sérieux.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Je peux toujours pas te manger.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to
Je pense
resolve
vraiment que c'est un
the
homme bien,
situation.
hein, alors
True.
que je mords mes
Last
victimes,
summer,
j'évite
during
de
the
leur
first
temps.
wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work.
Pas se fier aux apparences.
We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Allez,
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
goodbye.
I never could keep anything from her.
Ouais. Donc les missions secondaires, où sont-elles? Mission, quête principale, enquête locale. Refuse. Marchand. Quête secondaire, je vois pas où elles sont en fait. Mais où sont les quêtes secondaires? Objet de quête. Ouais. En bonne santé, 4.
Always knew the words to calm the children.
Bonne santé 2. Ah, inconnu. C'est qui est inconnu? Il est où l'autre? J'ai vu un type inconnu tout à l'heure. Ah, il est là. Ah, lui, je l'ai fait hier. Ok. Hôtel complet. C'est comme les hôtels. Sérieux.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Ah, mais Pipa, je peux lui
Good
reparler.
evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good
Ah,
evening,
j'ai
Dr.
débloqué
Reed.
un truc tout à l'heure. 26, non. Ah ben non.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Ah, je disais que j'avais débloqué un truc tout à l'heure.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
On va avancer dans la mission.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Sorry.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Ashbury. Ok. Ah, t'as des trucs à récupérer là. Ouais. Une lettre de mise en garde. Ok. Des choses à récupérer. L'aide. Vampyr Chapitre. Espèce rare de vampire.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
Voilà, je suis
The
obligé de
sun.
bouffer, hein, ouais.
The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke.
That can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Ah bon? D'accord.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
Where do we stand today?
Well, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skald?
A Skald is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
D'accord.
How do Skalds come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Ok, bientôt.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
Joue Edgar. Fouille ton bureau, hein, mec. Hein. Pas. Cet endroit, non, là c'est un endroit. Go. De l'hôpital. Elle est où? J'ai des objets à récupérer. Non.
I cannot enter.
Triplet. Ok. Ah, donc elle est bien là, non? À l'étage au-dessous, à mon avis. Y aller. Déjà, mettre des points de... Ouais, ok. J'ai compris. Vaisselle, les points qu'il faut si j'en ai. Oh oui, oui. C'est excellent ça. Défensive. La charge. Attendez. On va regarder autre chose. Passer à 2, ok. Capacité sanguine. Il y a des points, je vais pas les mettre de suite parce que je les trouve pas. On va essayer de faire un truc homogène. Mieux fille. Bébé. Voilà ma fille. Pour ceux qui viennent régulièrement, j'avais l'habitude de la voir. Ah mon bébé. Ah, tu voulais des câlins? Des câlins. Là, 2000.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Ah, elle a besoin d'eau, mais je fais comment pour arroser? Pas d'eau nulle part. Il y a des robinets, je peux rien faire. Merci. sérum. À quoi que. Donc là, il faut que je regarde. Ok, sérum. Donc, flèche du haut. Sérum de vie. Là, flèche du bas. D'accord. Oh.
Waste your time with me.
Ah non, mais elle est dehors.
How
Elle est
long
dehors,
must I
en fait.
wait, damn it? Blaming me will not
Ouais.
further your adjournment.
Hop, on se sert, c'est gratuit. Allez, au niveau des tentes.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadigan fellow.
T'as trop parlé, toi?
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Toi.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Il y a beaucoup de dialogues au début dans le jeu, mais on est obligé de les faire. On n'a pas le choix.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
You've nothing to prove, Dr. Tibbets, to anybody. And we all praise your experience. Please, have some rest.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
Dr. Tibbets. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Ouais, je vais garder pour le moment. Moi, je suis conservateur.
flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
D'accord. Non. Harriet. Harriet. Où es-tu, Harriet? Il y a un inconnu là-bas. Il est où? Il est derrière, hein? Ah non, il est pas derrière. Harriet. Où es-tu, Harriet? Franchement, si ça c'est pas un nom de vieille, je ne comprends pas. Ah. Viens, Harriet, viens me voir.
Simpletons, these nurses.
Alors.
Bred with no respect.
Oh là là. Toi, je vais te croquer. Oh là là, je vais te manger toute crue, toi.
What? What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Je suis venu te manger.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern.
Non,
Where's Dr. Swansea?
T'inquiète pas, va. Bientôt te vider de ton sang. J'ai des questions d'abord.
Dr. Swansea is quite busy, and I need you to help me get acclimated. I have many questions.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here. You've picked the wrong fight.
Pas de retrouver avec
I'm
deux points dans la
Harriet
carotide.
Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Better than
Yeah,
any
she's
patient,
désolée,
nurse,
hein,
or doctor.
les gens.
I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Je peux pas la
Miss
manger.
Jones, greetings. How do we feel?
Again? Waking a poor old woman in her sleep? There isn't a poor life needs saving somewhere?
I'll come and visit you shortly. Good night, Miss Jones.
Tu m'as gavé. Allez. Oh, qu'est-ce qu'il y a là? Ça fout. Doris Fletcher.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them. Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Allez, goodbye. On va se dire bye bye. Reste cool, baby. Une infirmière Pete Hawkins. Dorothy Crane. Ah bah elle est là, viens là. Viens
Good
voir.
evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
De toute façon, là, j'avais tout fait.
Do you know if any
Oh,
of the
no.
hospital staff have
Ah, j'ai
criminal
pas cliqué sur le
backgrounds?
bon.
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
To clear Dr. Tippett's name must be the decision of Dr. Swansea. You can't take matters into your own hands.
I respect Dr. Swansea's authority and management, but he's no idea what happens here on a daily basis.
En fait, c'est vraiment des pots de vase, ces infirmières. Franchement.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Nurse, ciao. Et lui, je veux le voir, non? Je peux pas, tu me laisses pas rentrer. Trop cool. Pas Hawkins, donc elle c'est qui? Ned Vanagan. Ah. Viens là ma petite.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if the nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Rain. Où es-tu? Où es-tu, Dorothy Crane? Dorothy Crane, Dorothy Crane. Dorothy Crane. Ah. Espionner, d'accord.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
D'accord. Donc c'est lui l'homme mystérieux. Ah l'autre va s'est barré en fait. Bien quoi. L'autre s'est barré. Elle me laisse avec son Jules. Faut tout leur apprendre. Hein. Ok. Il va y avoir du fight là, à mon avis.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
J'entends du bruit. Allez, lui il a rien compris. Non mais... Sérieux, je voulais récupérer la caisse là. Allez. Zou, tu pars. Voilà. Non mais oh. Alors, ça veut dire... Allez, on lance le flouze. J'entends l'autre dans mon dos en fait. Alors que je pense pas qu'il soit dans mon dos. À chaque fois que je veux faire assommer. Oh. Pas date. Sérieux, mec. Alors.
I can't
petit rat, il y a rien de mal à se faire un petit rat. Oh non. Ah d'accord. Ah oui.
What sort of creature is this?
Il est très long, il est très long, lui, il est très long. Bon, il fait son truc là, ok. C'est pas grave, c'est pas grave. Ah, il panique là, il est bientôt fou là. Hop, il va me chercher un petit peu. Voilà, ça tombe. Ça tombe, ça tombe. Bon,
here's what's left of him.
C'était mon dernier boss, je vais retourner sauvegarder. Et ça sera fini pour aujourd'hui.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Bien fait.
This is despicable.
Mon bébé. Ah oui, tu vas bientôt sortir, ma fille. Hein? fait. Va manger ma fille et va boire. On va pas tarder. Hello hello. À vous vous connecter, c'est bientôt la fin là. Bon, ça fait plaisir de voir qu'il y a des personnes qui se connectent. Ça fait un petit moment que bientôt faire 2 heures, je pense.
Step away, sir. Over there!
Allez. Non. Pourquoi c'est mort? Ah, le feu. Ça brûle. L'eau ça mouille. Et là c'est qu'en plus je dois déco là. Donc, je pense pas que je vais reprendre le combat. J'espère que ça m'a sauvegardé le boss. Je viens de faire un boss avant. Le jeu il est beau mais je le trouve très lent au téléchargement en fait. Très très lent. Donc... Ok. Donc ce qu'il y a c'est que ça m'a bien sauvegardé. Faudrait que j'aille sauver juste lui en fait quoi. Je vais devoir les refaire, Faut que je sauvegarde le type. Ah ouais, il est là-haut. Faut que je les déglingue. Lui avec son feu il dégage parce que c'est lui qui m'a tué. Voilà donc allez, allez. Toi je te mange, je te croque, allez, voilà. C'est genre le bruit des os là qui craque sous ma bouche, sous mes dents. Allez, voilà. Je vais ajouter à mes dents, toi, mes canines. Allez. Voilà, hop, hop. Oh là là, le sang qui gicle, c'est décevant. Merde, il est où? Allez. Hop, hop, je te finis avec la morsure. Voilà. Arrête de pleurer, Pénélope. Wow. Allez, des shillings. Il est où le petit bonhomme que je dois sauver là? Il était pas là? Ah mais c'était pas là en fait.
Over there!
Pour toi. Allez, enchaînement, en croque. Allez, attaque spéciale que j'ai ratée, c'est pas allé ça. On assomme, on assomme, on assomme et on croque. Attaque spéciale pour le finir, même pas. Allez, voilà. Ah mais où va le monde quoi, franchement. Cherche le gars là. Bon mais là de toute façon j'ai ma piole.
It's locked.
La porte est verrouillée. La porte est verrouillée, je peux pas passer par contre. Y a pas une fenêtre ouverte, un truc? Non. Ça j'avais lu. Il est dans mon dos le gars. Il est dans mon dos. Ah il est dans l'hôpital. Non. Ah en éliminant l'escale. Ouais mais j'ai pas le temps de le finir le truc. J'ai pas le temps de le finir, je suis vraiment désolé. Faut vraiment que j'aille... Vraiment que je m'occupe de ma fille. J'espère que vous comprendrez. Vous allez où là? Ah c'est pas là. Allez. Récupère, c'est bien, ils remettent toujours des items en fait. Alors j'ai récupéré là déjà. Donc on va grimper au premier étage. On va aller dans sa piole. Au passage hein. On récupère 2-3 items. Ce que je vais faire, regardez, je vais aller chez moi là, voilà. Je vais mettre mes points. Points de talent. Je vais voir si je peux pas fabriquer, modifier, améliorer mes armes. Hop. Moi je fais tout à la machette hein, pour le moment. Je trouve que voilà. En fait, elle est niveau 2, je peux pas la passer niveau 3. Comment ça se fait? Là, c'est ça ou ça en fait. Allez, tomber. Attends, mais je vais mettre, je vais juste mettre les points. Allez. Ah, c'est 1960. Défensive, ça m'intéresse pas trop. D'endurance. Alors. Non, je vais rien faire. Non, c'est pas... J'ai eu la sauvegarde, là? Le fait de me mettre sur le lit, est-ce que ça t'aide? Oui, il faut que je confirme. La nuit suivante, ouais, ok. Ah d'accord, lui il est mort. Ils sont tous morts. Ah, lui il les étreint. Ouais, mais j'étais en mauvaise santé. Hein. J'aurais pu les manger. Mais... Bon ben voilà, allez. Ben... Les amis, je vous dis à demain. Voilà, passez une bonne soirée, un bon week-end. Un bon samedi soir. Allez, ciao et à demain. Tchuss. Abonnez-vous. Allez voir ma chaîne YouTube si vous voulez aussi. Voilà, vous pouvez vous abonner. Il va y avoir plein de suites de jeux campagne. Voilà, j'essaie de faire de mon mieux. Hein. Voilà, donc essayez de me donner l'envie en mettant des likes, des pouces bleus sur YouTube, de vous abonner. Voilà, ça peut être cool quoi. Allez, merci à vous tous et bonne soirée, bon week-end. Ciao, ciao.